Graaff-Reinet is a town in the Eastern Cape province of South Africa. It is the fourth oldest town in South Africa after Cape Town, Stellenbosch, and Swellendam. History: the town was founded by the VOC Dutch East India Company in 1786, being named after the then governor of Cape Colony, Cornelis Jacob van der Graaf, and his wife, whose maiden name was Reinet. In 1795 the burghers, smarting under the exactions of the VOC and under the leadership of Adriaan van Jaarsveld, expelled the Landrustmanier and proclaimed an independent colony of Graaff-Reinet, requesting guardianship under the government in the Netherlands. Similar action was subsequently taken by the burghers of Swellendam. Claims that the two independent regions wanted to be independent republics were found to be untrue. Before the authorities at Cape Town could take decisive measures against the rebels, they were themselves compelled to capitulate to the British, who invaded and occupied the Cape. The burghers, having endeavoured, unsuccessfully, to get aid from a French warship at Algoa Bay, surrendered to Colonel Joe Vandeleur. In January 1799, Martinus Prinsloo, a leader of the independent movement in 1795, again rebelled, but surrendered in April following. Prinsloo and 19 others were imprisoned in Cape Town Castle. After trial, Prinsloo and another commandant were sentenced to death and others to banishment. The sentences were not carried out and the prisoners were released March 1803, on the retrocession of the Cape to the Netherlands. In terms of the Treaty of Amiens signed in 1802, the British returned the Cape Colony to the Netherlands in February 1803. It was then renamed the Batavian Republic. In 1801 there had been another revolt in Graaff-Reinet, but owing to the conciliatory measures of General F. Dundas, peace was soon restored. It was this district where an independent colony government in South Africa was first proclaimed, which furnished large numbers of the voortrekkers in 1835 to 1842. In 1806, a British fleet of 61 ships dropped anchor at Robben Island and landed 6,000 troops at Bleiauberg. The Battle of Bleiauberg followed and Dutch resistance crumbled. On the 13th of August 1814 the Cape Colony was formally ceded to Britain by a convention under which Dutch vessels were to remain entitled to resort freely to the Cape of Good Hope for the purposes of refreshment and repairs. Britain agreed on the 13th of August 1814 to pay 5 million sterling to the United Netherlands for the Dutch possession at the Cape. The Cape Colony received a degree of independence in 1872 when responsible government was declared, and in 1877, the government of Prime Minister John Molteno began construction of the railway line connecting Graaff-Reinet to Port Elizabeth on the coast. This was officially opened on the 26th of August 1879. Graaff-Reinet became the centre of British military operations for the whole Eastern Cape during the Second Boer War. In 1901, a number of captured Boer rebels were tried in the town for crimes ranging from high treason, murder, attempted murder, arson and robbery. 9 were sentenced to death, with 8 of these being executed by firing squad on the outskirts of the town, while the 9th sentence was carried out in Colesberg. The Burger Monument in Donkin Street commemorates the fallen Boers. Geography: the town lies 750 meters above the sea and is built on the banks of the Sundays River, which rises a little farther north on the southern slopes of the Sneeuwberg and splits into several channels here. The Dutch Reformed Church in the town is a prominent stone building in Church Street with seating accommodation for 1,500 people. The building is influenced by the architecture of Salisbury Cathedral in England. The college is an educational centre of some importance. It was rebuilt in 1906. The Graaff-Reinet Teachers College was closed down in 1990 after it was used as a center for further educational training for about 6 years. Graaff-Reinet is a flourishing market for agricultural produce, the district being noted for its mohair industry, sheep and ostrich farming. Demographics. In the South African National Census of 2011, the population of Graaff-Reinet was recorded as 35,672 people living in 8,393 households. Of this population, 62.2% described themselves as colored, 28.2% as Black African, and 8.7% as white. The dominant language was Afrikaans, which was the first language of 76.0% of the population. 18.9% spoke Xhosa, and 3.6% spoke English. Tourist attractions. The Valley of Desolation, a geological wonder of weathered dolerite pillars which is a declared national monument with magnificent views over the Karoo Plains. The Kamdabu National Park of 200 square kilometers on the outskirts of the town with its interesting flora and fauna. Stretchers Court, a picturesque restored street of Karoo cottages with brightly painted shutters and doors. Reinet House Museum, a Cape Dutch building, formerly the Dutch Reformed Church parsonage. The Agave Distillery, a distillery producing tequila from the agave plant. The Karoo architecture. The Dutch Reformed Church in the center of the town is a national monument. This Dutch Reformed Church is the only known church in South Africa and possibly in the world to have a kitchen and a chimney. The Droste Hotel, a Cape Dutch building erected in 1806 as the local seat of government by the VOC. Currently a hotel, Graaff-Reinet is home to more national monuments than any other town or city in South Africa.